The story of the hydrogen core network begins with a hard mathematical reality. Germany cannot reach its goal of being climate neutral by 2045 using only electricity from wind and solar. While electric cars and heat pumps work for houses and small vehicles, large-scale industries like steel production, chemical refining, and heavy shipping need a high-energy molecule to replace coal and natural gas. Green hydrogen, produced by splitting water using renewable electricity, is that molecule. Germany, currently facing a hydrogen paradox, companies won't produce green hydrogen without a way to ship it, and customers won't buy it without a guaranteed supply. To solve this chicken and egg problem, Germany has officially approved the Wasserstoff-Kernnetz, or Hydrogen Core Network, a nearly 10,000-kilometer hydrogen highway designed to kickstart a new era of climate-neutral industry. This isn't just a plan on paper anymore. As of October 22, 2024, the Federal Network Agency has given the final green light to start construction. In this video, we are going to break down exactly how this massive project works. We will look at the history of how we got here, the technical architecture of the pipes themselves, and the unique and controversial way this project is being financed. We will also look at the massive costs involved and the risks that have experts and auditors worried about the burden on future taxpayers. In June 2020, Germany released its first National Hydrogen Strategy, NWS, marking the moment hydrogen became the second pillar of the energy transition. By July 2023, the government realized the original goals weren't ambitious enough and updated the strategy. They effectively doubled the domestic production target to 10 gigawatts of electrolysis capacity by 2030. However, even with 10 gigawatts of production, Germany's own experts admit the country can't produce everything it needs. It is expected that 50 to 70% of Germany's hydrogen demand will have to be imported from abroad, arriving either via massive ships at coastal terminals or through international pipelines like Norway, Denmark, and even North Africa. To make this work, the country needs a backbone, a transmission grid that acts as the central artery connecting producers, importers, and consumers. To speed things up, the government passed the Hydrogen Acceleration Act, WEBG. This law is a legal turbo button. It grants hydrogen projects the status of overriding public interest, which means they get priority in the planning and approval process, making it much harder for local legal challenges to stall construction. Out of the total 9,040 kilometers approved for the network, approximately 60%, about 5,442 kilometers, will actually be repurposed natural gas pipelines. This is a massive win for both the environment and the budget. Engineering studies have shown that most high-grade steel pipes currently carrying natural gas are H2 ready. Converting an old pipe to carry hydrogen costs only about 25 to 40% of what it would cost to lay a brand new one. But repurposing isn't as simple as just flipping a switch. When a line is converted, it undergoes a rigorous protocol. 1. Emptying and cleaning. The natural gas is removed using compressors until the pipe is depressurized. 2. Asset upgrades. While the steel pipes themselves are often fine, the auxiliary parts are not. Hydrogen is a much smaller molecule than methane and can leak through seals that are perfectly fine for natural gas. This means engineers must replace thousands of seals, valves, and measuring stations. 3. Compressor power. Hydrogen has a lower volumetric energy density than natural gas, meaning you need to move a lot more of it to get the same energy. To handle this, the plan includes installing or converting 291 megawatts of compression power across the network. 4. Security testing. Every converted line requires an individual measures catalog and a final sign-off from an independent expert to ensure it can operate safely under high pressure, typically between 70 and 100 bar. The remaining 40% of the network, 3,597 kilometers, will be new construction. These new pipes are essential to reach areas the gas grid doesn't currently touch, such as new offshore wind-to-hydrogen landing points in the North Sea or specific industrial islands that were never connected to the high-pressure gas grid. The hydrogen core network isn't distributed evenly across Germany. It follows the logic of supply and demand. If you look at the map, the northwest of Germany is the most densely connected area. This is because the northwest has the holy trinity of hydrogen infrastructure: production, access to massive amounts of offshore wind power to run electrolyzers; imports, major ports like Wilhelmshaven and Emden where international hydrogen will arrive; and storage, the geological advantage of salt caverns, which are the gold standard for storing gas safely underground. Let's look at some of the lighthouse projects that make up the backbone. The Flow project, this is an 1,100-kilometer corridor running from the Baltic Sea down through Lubmin, past Berlin, and into the industrial heart of Saxony and Thuringia. As of February 2026, the Flow project has reached its first major milestone, and hydrogen is officially flowing through that 400-kilometer section. This was largely achieved by repurposing existing natural gas pipelines with a massive 1.4-meter diameter, making it one of the largest and fastest gas-to-hydrogen conversions in the world. H2 Hercules. This project connects the North Sea imports at Wilhelmshaven directly to the massive steel mills and chemical plants in the Rhine-Ruhr area. Get H2 Nucleus, a 130-kilometer subnetwork specifically designed to decarbonize the heavy industry in the Ruhr area, connecting hydrogen production in Lingen to refineries and steel plants like ThyssenKrupp. Beyond these transit lines, we have to talk about storage. You can't run a national energy system without a battery, and for hydrogen, that battery is the salt cavern. Salt caverns are preferred because salt is almost perfectly impermeable. It keeps the tiny hydrogen molecules trapped inside without them leaking away. These caverns will act as a buffer, soaking up extra hydrogen when the wind is blowing and releasing it when the industrial demand is high. This is where the project gets controversial. The total cost to build this network by 2032 is estimated at nearly 20 billion euros. In a normal energy market, the people who use the pipes pay for them through network fees on their bills. But here's the problem. In 2025 and 2026, there will be very few hydrogen users. If those first few factories had to pay the entire multi-billion euro bill for the pipes, the cost of hydrogen would be so high that no one would ever switch to it. The market would die before it started. To solve this, the government created the WANDA mechanism, Hydrogen Network Fee and Amortization Mechanism. This money is used to pay the network operators so they can keep building even though they aren't making a profit yet. Around the year 2040, the government expects the number of hydrogen users to be so high that the total fees collected will finally exceed the cost of running the grid. The goal is to have the entire 24 billion euro debt paid off by December 31st, 2055. While the government is optimistic, the Federal Court of Auditors, Bundesrechnungshof, has released a report that is much more skeptical. They have identified several red flags that could turn this project into a massive burden for future generations. The entire 2055 payback plan depends on one thing: a massive, successful hydrogen market. But the auditors point out that green hydrogen is currently much more expensive than natural gas. For it to be competitive, the government might have to spend another 3 to 25 billion euros just in subsidies to lower the price of imported hydrogen so that companies actually want to use it. If a new technology emerges, like a breakthrough in high-density batteries that makes hydrogen unnecessary for certain industries, the demand for the network might never materialize. If the amortization account is not balanced by 2055 because there weren't enough users, the German federal government is legally obligated to pay 76% of the remaining debt. The network operators only have to pay a 24% deductible. This means the state is taking on the vast majority of the financial risk. The auditors also noted that while the government promised an annual monitoring report on the progress of the hydrogen economy starting in 2021, not a single monitoring report has been published yet. This makes it very difficult for the public to see if the project is actually meeting its milestones. Germany isn't doing this in a vacuum. The core network is designed to be the center of the European hydrogen backbone. This is a vision for a continent-wide grid that allows energy to flow freely between countries. Key international connections include the Delta Rhine corridor, connecting the massive industrial ports of Rotterdam and Amsterdam in the Netherlands directly to the German border. The Nordic Link, bringing offshore wind hydrogen from Denmark through the Elland border point. The South H2 corridor, a plan to bring cheap solar-produced hydrogen from North Africa through Italy and Austria, entering Germany from the south. By building these border crossing points, or GUPs, Germany is positioning itself as the central transit hub for European energy in the 21st century. The core network we've discussed today is only stage 1. It connects the big players, large ports, huge factories, and massive storage caverns. Stage 2 officially kicked off in 2025 with the launch of the first integrated network development plan for gas and hydrogen. This phase has moved beyond the big players to tackle the last-mile connectivity. Throughout 2025 and into early 2026, distribution system operators have been submitting their regional transformation plans. These plans are the blueprint for connecting the approximately 1.8 million industrial and commercial customers currently served by the gas grid. Over the next 20 years, these local grids will have to decide which parts to convert to hydrogen and which parts to retire as homes switch to heat pumps. The hydrogen core network is a 9,460-kilometer bet on the future of the German industry. By using clever engineering to repurpose old pipes and unique financing to delay the costs, the government is trying to build the infrastructure of tomorrow today. If it works, Germany will lead the world with a decarbonized industrial base powered by a clean, reliable flow of hydrogen from across the globe. But if the market fails to materialize, or if the costs continue to climb, the year 2055 will bring a very large bill for the next generation of taxpayers. The pipes are coming. The laws are passed. The first millions have already been paid out from the amortization account. Now, the only question that remains is, will the hydrogen flow? Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the Wasserstoff-Kernnetz. If you found this breakdown of Germany's energy future helpful, please consider sharing it. We'll see you in the next deep dive into the world of energy and technology.